I know you're not supposed to talk about brand new anymore. What is going on, my mates? Hope everyone's having a great day today. Freaking 10 in the morning here in California. About to hop in the car, get the day going. Once again, I hope everyone's been well. Gonna be filming the part 2 to, oh my gosh, my phone's going crazy right now. Part 2 to my favorite albums of all time, which is where I just talk about like 5 or so of albums that I hold near and dear to my heart. Also, a nice little piece of news that some people might be excited for and some people might be like, yo dude, stop. But I'm making a part 2 of This Is Why Parker Cannon Hates His Fans. I'm going to be interviewing the kid from the interview, reflecting on the video myself. I think it's going to be a pretty good video. I think it's going to be better than the last one, honestly, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, my mates, take care and I'll see you in a sec. Really quick before we get into the meat saucy part of this video, I did make another video like this. This is part 2. I didn't know I was going to make another one, but today I was like, you know what? I really want to talk about my favorite albums again, talk about some more of them, share it with the mates. So you should go watch that if you haven't yet. It's pretty good. Finish this one up and then head on over to that one. This video is going to be structured in the exact same way that the first one was. I'm going to be speaking about 5 albums that I hold near and dear to my heart that I could realistically see myself listening to for the next 10, 20, 30, 25,000 years from now. I don't even know, but I'm going to be talking about the album, talk about some songs, and then read a lyric from a song or something, you know, really should just try to sell you on the album or band or whatever if you haven't heard of it. But yeah, so let's do that. Album number 1 is called Home Like No Place Is There by the Hotelier, but they combined it to one word for this album. They changed their name for this album into the Hotelier. The Hotelier, just kidding, it's still pronounced Hotelier. But this album called Home Like No Place Is There, 9 tracks of pure emo, just it's everything that you would want in an emo album. It has like the kind of like the aggressive, you know what I mean, kind of like some snowing type of vibes, but then it also has just that smooth emo feel, kind of like, I don't know, like the first track. The first track on this album, called An Introduction to the Album, very fitting name, really sets the tone for this album because he says something along the lines of, I had a chance to construct something beautiful and I choked. Dang, that just hits me so heavy. There are many great tracks on this, such as Your Deep Rest, You're Depressed, get it? I think that's what they're going for. But he says that he called in sick from his friend's funeral because he just couldn't do it. You know, it's pretty like metaphorical. I don't even know if that actually happened, but you get the idea. There's some songs that are a little bit political, like Housebroken, Love, Loss, coming to terms with things. I cannot say enough good things about this record. This came out at peak emo revival time, I would call it. And if you've been goofing around with this music since then, you definitely know like what I'm referring to. The World Is a Beautiful Place was popping. That was right around the time when Modern Baseball is about to release You're Gonna Miss It All. All of those bands are still popping. Yeah, you get the idea. This album got very mixed reviews. I know Anthony Fantano didn't really like it, but he doesn't really like any of the music that I like. But I don't know. He's still my favorite. I love you, dude. Yeah, this got some pretty mixed reviews, but personally, I thought it was perfection. I know that some people may disagree and say, Nate, I think this album is horrible. I think you're crazy. However, I do want to continue to try to sell you on it. So we're going to be reading lyrics from the very last song on the album, my favorite song on the album, called Dendron. Dentures. You cut your ties, felt better off. Salutations to your son. Awoke to find you heading out with your white collar undone. You placed a bar, I played a game to see how low that I could go. We developed mental pictures and we're following our fathers down the drain. Dang. Do you recall the imagery from when I drove you away? Through others' rose prescription lens. Man, I'm sorry every day because we intersect internally. We take what we have and we run, and it all starts to unravel until we're less than we were carrying before. I expected more. Oh my gosh. Like, if that doesn't get you feeling, I don't know what will. You gotta listen to Home Like No Place Is There by the Hotelier, or else. This next album, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard for me to talk about, but probably not for the reason that you may be thinking of right now. Not because an emotional reason, or I have it tied to something, which would also be an emotional reason, but because post-rock is just a very difficult thing to talk about, and the band / album that I'm referring to is Explosions in the Sky and their LP called The Earth Is Not a Cold Dead Place. I love this album so much. It just kind of reminds me of waking up in the morning or something. And again, it's very, very difficult to talk about because if you don't know what post-rock is, heck, I barely even know what it is, but it's basically just instrumental. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. Again, that's why I'm saying it's super difficult to write about. If you've ever seen the show Friday Night Lights, they actually have the music intro for that show is by Explosions in the Sky, right? Crazy, I know. I love this. I just... It's so hard to talk about because, again, there are no lyrics, but this is just such an incredible album. You're gonna have to take my word for it. If you have to like write an essay or something, just put it on because, again, there are no words. It's just instruments. It's very calming. It makes you feel good. It makes me feel good, at least. They're a very talented band. Heck, all of their work is incredible. I'd say 99% of their work is very incredible. I enjoy pretty much all of it. This album in particular, though, it's only 5 tracks, but most of the tracks are pretty darn long, so you'll get some good listening time out of it. Explosions in the Sky, The Earth is Not a Cold Dead Place. I really do wish that I could say more about this album, but I just don't really have much to say or know what else to say other than it's a really, really good album and you should trust me on that. And also, if you like indie rock, you should check it out because I feel like it's post-rock mixed with indie, just a fine little combination. So yeah, go check it out. Okay, the deeper that I get into making this video, I get more and more pleased with the list and the albums that I chose because I feel like this one actually has quite a bit of diversity. So this may seem like it's coming out of left field. I don't necessarily talk about this music ever on the channel. I'd love to at some point, but I just kind of haven't yet. The album/band is Expire. The album is called Pendulum Swings. This is the hardcore record. This is one of the best hardcore records that I've ever heard, period. You might be saying, Nate, you're crazy. It's not even up there. No, it is. It's insane. It's only like 20 minutes long. All of the songs are insanely fast. They're insanely catchy. They just have this groove to them. The album opens up, okay, with this song called Just Fine, where he goes,
everything is going fine, going off without a hitch, but soon enough you'll find that life's an effing B word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just hits so hard from the beginning. If you listen to hardcore and have not listened to this album, I'm just gonna call you a poser, and that's coming from me, myself, a poser. There are literally no tracks on this album that I think are subpar or any tracks that I don't even enjoy. Every single track on this album I enjoy to death. I've probably listened to this album like 3,000 times. And okay, the lyrics, they're very well written. They're very interesting. I like the way that he words things, the way that he rhymes. Again, the flow is very good. It almost feels like it's influenced by rap a little bit, and I feel like hardcore in general is. So let's just check out some lyrics from their song called Spit Out.
Chew me up, spit me out. How could I still care about someone who just threw me away like I was nothing?
All the times you shook my hand, I couldn't conceive it. Turn you back on me, man, I couldn't believe it. See, it's just so, it's that you got the flow, it's catchy, it rhymes. You gotta check out this record if you never have. If you already have, you're probably going, wow, Nate is so right. But yeah, check out Pendulum Swings by Expire if you never have, because you are severely missing out. Okay, this next album, number 4, I'm gonna say it right now. The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me by Brand New. I know you're not supposed to talk about Brand New anymore. Jesse Lacey did some horrible things that you don't agree with, that I don't agree with, but I do not think that that takes away the musical merit from this album. I personally am able to separate the artist from the music. If you're not able to, that's okay. I understand. I really do think it's on a personal, individual basis. However, I do ask that you do not criticize me or judge me for being able to do that myself. But if you really do think I'm a bad person for being able to separate the artist and talking about Brand New, we do have a comment section where you can let me know. But I love this album so much. Let's talk about it. I almost don't really even know where to start with this album because I love it so much. It's so high up on my list of favorite albums of all time. I might even say it's in my top 10 albums of all time. I love it that much. This album came out in 2006, and I believe that it is aged incredibly well. For me, it just gets better and better with time. I listen to it differently as I get older. It sounds different than it did when I was 16, for example. I'm 22 now. I love this thing so much. It's quiet. It's extremely loud and crazy. It's everything in between. It has it all. It's a fairly long album. I don't want to say really long, but it is a little bit lengthier. Let me just check how long it is really quick. Okay, so it's 54 minutes. So definitely on the longer side, not a beast of an album like some rap albums that are like 2.5 hours long, but definitely compared to some of the other music that I talk about in the length of those albums, this album is quite a bit lengthier. But there are absolutely no filler tracks on this album. I can't find any myself. I love every single track on this album. If I had to pick 3 that are just my favorites, I'd say You Won't Know, Degausser, and Millstone. I don't even know. This is so hard. I just love this album so much. It's so hard to talk about because I feel like I'll never be able to do it the justice that it deserves. So if you've never listened to it, please listen to it. I am absolutely begging you to do so if you're able to separate the artist from the music. If not, that's okay. I understand. But this music is incredible. Now I would like to take a second to read some lyrics from it. This song is called Millstone, track number 2 on the album.
Let's peep this out.
Let's peep this out. I used to be such a burning example. I used to be so original. I used to care I was being cared for. Made sure I showed it to those that I love. I used to sleep without a single stir because I was about my father's work. Dang, that grabs me. That really grabs me, especially when I was 16, you know, when you're all angsty, you're like, oh yeah, I'm not the same as I used to be, you know, life is hard, I'm changing. But yeah, I don't know, that still hits me the same way that it does when I was 16. No, well, not the exact same way, in a different way, but it still grabs me. This entire album still grabs me the same way that it did 6 years ago. Again, I will never be able to do justice with my words to say how good of an album it is, how much I love this. So go listen to it for yourself. If you've already listened to it, listen to it again today because it's that good. The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me by Brand New. This last album has not been out that long in a retrospect compared to The Devil and God, but I do deem this album a classic, and I think there are a lot of people that are going to agree with me. If you have heard this album previously, the band and album that I'm referring to is Cardinal by Pinegrove. Some people call it farm emo, some people call it folk emo, country farmers. I don't even know. This album is incredible. Came out on Run for Cover in 2016. Dang, maybe it's only been out for like 2 years. That's crazy. Anyway, this album is exactly what I just kind of said. It reminds me of country mixed with emo, mixed with indie, mixed with just good songwriting overall. Evan Stevens Hall is such an incredible songwriter. I think he's one of the best songwriters of our generation. I know that's a bold claim. I know Nate's crazy. I know I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I'm gonna get some heat for that, but I really do strongly believe that. That is my belief. I think he's incredible. Another person that I will reference that I think is an incredible songwriter, one of the best of our generation, is Alex G. Sandy Alex G. And also Matt Cawthron of Elvis to Presley and Coma Cinema. Some of the best songwriters of our time. That's just my take though. Cardinal is an outstanding record front to back. Every single track I absolutely love. This record actually has my second favorite song of all time. That song is not Old Friends. You may have been thinking that, but I gotcha. The song is called Aphasia, track number 4 on the album. Let's just read a little snippet from it. Just when I thought I had this pattern sorted out, apparently my ventricles are full of doubt. Now, nah, things go wrong sometimes, don't let it freak you out. But if I don't have you by me, then I'll go underground. That was just a little snippet of how good the lyrics are. Just, you gotta listen to the full song if you never have. It's a lyrical masterpiece. I really do believe it is. Evan Stevens Hall, he reads a lot of books, so his vocabulary is, in particular, very verbose. You see a lot of big words in this album, some that I had to look up myself because, you know, I'm not super smart. I don't know a lot of big words. But yeah, this album is incredible. If you've never listened to it, listen to it right now. If you have, you know it's a classic. You can't deny it. It's super good. Run for Cover Records forever. I love you, my mates, and I'll see you in the outro. My mates, thank you so much for tuning into this video, taking time out of your day to watch it. Just recording this, I'm really happy with the way that I think that it came out because I feel like I was slightly better at describing the music and the records and the bands in this video. I don't know, let me know if I was any better or if I got worse. I don't know, either one. But if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, that's just kind of ridiculous. You should go do that right now. Join Mates Club. Mates Club drop at the end of this month. You can follow me on social media if you want to. You should, but I don't mind if you don't want to. I get it. Hope you have a good day, my mates. Love y'all, and I'll see you very soon.